if you are a white guy and you go to Japan, you date and marry a Japanese girl, and like she doesn't speak English, like that's really just a guy wanting a girl that he can control.
Wouldn't you say like she's also a little bit confrontational, like that attitude where it's like,
even
okay,
what you're asking me right now, you're trying to lead me on. I gave you my opinion.
Okay, so you don't think she's
I already gave you my opinion.
There's more of a submissiveness and respect that goes on over there, and less of that toxicity.
Do you actually know Japanese people in relationships? Kimuchi. Can't even speak your language.
Masculine women and feminine guys. Do you see that as a problem?
Masculine women and feminine guys?
Yes.
I don't really know what that means.
You can't take women from two different societies and compare.
Look at the divorce rate.
That's not our fault. Who's supposed to lead the household?
You're the
Men.
ones that initiate the divorces!
Okay. Why do y'all not lead us to be better than and not divorced?
You don't listen.
You argue.
You're not even listening right now!
I'm listening. I believe what I'm saying.
Well then, if you're gonna listen, start with shutting up, okay? When you date a Japanese girl and she loves you, know the most common thing she says? She says, if you're happy, I'm happy.
Seriously, do you see how she mocked it? That was true femininity, but American women think that that's just some kind of a joke or that it's a caricature.
And you said that women in Japan, like, those are the only true princesses that you've seen.
You don't act like a princess.
How? You've seen me for, like, what?
You act like a Dairy Queen.
All right, we'll get into what you think about this, Mickey. But before that, we'll introduce the podcast. Welcome back to the Controvert podcast, where we talk about dating, modern dating, Asian dating, whatever. My name's Panda, your host, and we have Mickey join us with today.
Hi, my name is Mickey.
All right, so what do you think about this video?
I mean, was the camera on? You could see my face the whole time, right?
I didn't see. I wasn't looking at it.
Oh, you weren't looking? Okay, well, the audience could see my face the whole time. This is not. It's not even a debate. This is really just an argument. Like nobody's actually trying to make any nuanced points here. It's just one overreaching argument over another overreaching argument over another overreaching argument to prove whoever's right. And so this is not. It's not really.
It's not really I wouldn't.
It's not real life, and it's also like obviously, you know, I said earlier that like relationships are not like this, and also like that podcast is not designed to actually give you any information about.
Wait, you see this podcast before?
No, I know I've never
Fresh
seen this
and Fit?
No, I've never seen this podcast before. But like, there's nothing about this podcast that's actually trying to teach you anything.
it could inspire some guys to be very red pilled. But that could probably do the opposite effect for the progression of the human race and dating, and for procreating and stuff like that. But
I mean, people will procreate.
I think,
but I don't know if you'll have a good relationship.
yeah. But for me, right, like when I watch this type of content, like I kind of see like, yeah, there's these types of girls out there. Like it gives me awareness that there's a possibility of girls who will mock this. And for example, like me personally, I prefer a girl who's like peaceful. I think everyone does, right? But I think for one of my biggest preferences is someone that will give me my peace. And I think I could kind of see the correlation where it's like, okay, a Japanese girl who's like, kimuchi, and then also like just saying like, if you're happy, I'm happy. I could kind of see that as like a very high quality trait that most men would want. But I think you had something different you wanted to say about that, right?
Well, I think relationships are more nuanced than this. Like, this is very black and white, this or that, because it makes for good content. But, like, in any real relationship, it's not going to be like this at all. And, then, you know, to your point, like, there's a lot of men that are like that, which, like, they just want to sit there and they want to argue.
Berate women?
Yeah, well, he's not there to listen. He's there to win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and a lot of times like they just cut off like guys.
Exactly. Well, no, but men cut off each other, and nobody's actually there to listen, and that's the problem with I think 99.99% of relationships. People don't actually want to hear each other out. The people that are actually willing to hear each other out, those are the relationships that are actually successful. And like a lot of people struggle with their defense mechanisms because it kicks in right away, you know, before you even know it, and it takes a lot of self-awareness to not let that take over.
So in this, are you saying that the guys are not listening to the girls, or
none of them are listening to each other? No, nobody's listening to each other.
Okay, so
not a
it's just
single one.
It's just a clown show.
It is. Nobody there is actually listening to each other to actually hear what they have to say, because they're not listening to understand.
Yeah.
They're listening to be right.
Okay, wow. That's deep. Steve, I would have been like, oh, you know what? I thought you would have been like, oh, you know what? Like, I actually see it from the girl's point of view. Why is he calling her a Dairy Queen? That's fucked up.
No, because that just continues the cycle. If someone is there to actually listen and to understand, that creates a completely different environment.
Okay.
It's completely different, and you don't get the argument. You don't get the low hits like calling someone a Dairy Queen. You don't get that stuff. You get people that like look at each other and they say like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
How does that actually affect you? I don't understand. Can you explain more?
But from like the guy's perspective in this video, right? Do you see how like a girl like that who's like kind of combative and confrontational, a little bit masculine, like what these guys would say,
the thing, this is their entire environment. Everybody there is like that, so it's gonna be like that.
Like, are you saying that they do it on purpose for clicks?
Both of them. Everybody there is there not to actually understand each other. Like, that is exactly what's happening there.
Oh, okay. So in a sense, you're saying that like it's just a clown show on purpose. Like, they purposely paint this narrative like, okay, let's go ahead and just like attack each other.
I mean, look at do you see what does it say? Feminists destroyed into a billion pieces. Like, there's nothing nuanced about that. That's what the comment says. MLD destroys angry feminists in debate. Like, this is just to like get someone to watch it, and it's to.
What is that MLD? Can someone?
I have no idea what that is. Someone tell us what that is. I don't know what that is.
Modern left. I don't know.
I don't know what that means. But the thing is that like it's rage bait. It's rage bait.
Yeah.
And like, you will watch it because it triggers something in you. You'll feel that your like nervous system will be activated. But like, you know, people will say these sweeping arguments just to get reactions from people, and it's not to understand. But
like, in my point of view, right, I feel like the girl, she actually believes what she's saying, though. Maybe the guys,
I think so. The
guys own the show, right? Fresh and Fit, like, it's run by like these black dudes, Myron and Fresh. But the girls, they're like guests of the show.
Okay.
So like, being a guest, maybe if they say controversial things, maybe they're actually believing it. Whereas the guys, let me see if my mouse...
it's called stirring the pot. They say these things just to get a reaction.
Yes.
Just to get a reaction, and that's what it is.
But at the same time, wouldn't you say like she's also a little bit confrontational, like that attitude where it's like,
even okay, what you're asking me right now, you're trying to lead me on to make an opinion, and I'm not going for it. It doesn't work on me.
Well, I'm trying to see like your opinion. I'm not.
I gave you my opinion.
Okay, so you don't think she's confrontational?
I already gave you my opinion.
She's just.
I said what I said. Clicks. I said what I said.
Got it. All right. I mean, I guess like we could talk a little bit more about like the femininity and like just like masculinity thing, I guess. Like, they're talking a little bit about like the Japan versus America dating. Like, what do you think with like the problem with America that we have with dating versus like Japan? Like the East, you know what I mean?
What part?
I mean, just like everything. Why is dating failing with like...
Dating's failing everywhere.
It's failing everywhere. I mean, with Japan, it's like going down because people are not like...
They have the lowest birth rate in the fucking like first... what is it? Like the...
But then the guys over here, they want to become passport bros and go over there to date. So is there maybe something in a sense like correlated where it's like the guys here, they think the girls over there are much better?
You're gonna have to ask them. I have no idea.
Really? I mean, what's your thoughts on it? Like from a female's perspective.
I just gave you my thought.
Okay, so I think right. I believe that there's in America, like what we talked about in like the last pod, like kind of growing up in a more white or black neighborhood, like for example how you did in Michigan.
Yeah, sure.
I think that kind of creates more of a confrontation, even though you're not, you have like opinions, right? But it could create like more of confrontational attitude, and with like Asians or whoever, right? Like just hanging out in these like neighborhoods, and that's like the teaching, that's like the influence that these neighborhoods have, it's not like more of like the submissiveness or like the trust that's built. It's more of like, should I scrutinize this person as much as possible? I think that's what's contributing to why it's like failing so much, because like with Japanese women, they have like more trust, or just like any East Asian women, not like Chinese. Chinese is difficult. Yeah, I've had so much bad. Yeah, but like from Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Japan, I probably not Korean. I'm sorry. Like Koreans, I feel like they just like their own kind. Like Korean girls only like Korean guys. Maybe you have like a couple outliers, but mostly they don't want to date other Asians. But other than that, like I feel like a lot of East Asians, they're like more respectful in this regard.
I feel like these are all very sweeping arguments. Like it just
like it's too generalized. Huh?
It's everything is too generalized. Like it's not like it
Yeah.
could give you some information, but like at the end of the day, it's really about how you connect with one single person. And
True.
like
Valid.
this like stuff about being Asian or a woman growing up from here or growing up from there, like it could give you some information, but it really is going to give you very little information about what is going to happen in your relationship. And like if this is going to be like an advice channel, like my best advice is that you really need to get to know yourself really fucking well.
Yeah.
Really, really well. And like know what triggers you, know what like gets you like really annoyed, know the things that bother you, and figure out how you can trust yourself, which
Yeah.
a lot of people don't really know how to do. And I think like if we're going to bring in like the reasons why that's the case, I think especially for a lot of like Asian immigrants, a lot of that has to do with like the situation in which a lot of us were brought over here.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that has to do with the stress of immigrating. And so like parents are spending a lot of their time working and not a lot of time connecting with their children emotionally. And so that creates a lot of insecurity in many Asian Americans, because like they don't have a good baseline for how you should be connecting with people. And like that might be okay for a while, and you might have a lot of relationships that work for a long time, but they are unfulfilling. You have drama, you have cheating, you have all this other stuff that you really don't want in a relationship. And a lot of that comes from like how things were like happening when you were born.
True.
I think.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think there's like a set rule for like just like toxic people, right? Like I think we could both agree like some traits of like a toxic person is like someone who's like manipulative, someone who lies, someone who's like not really honest about things, and has piss poor communications when they get called out about things, right?
Yeah.
So or gaslights. And I think that general rule of thumb, like it kind of like how I see it is like the correlation between this, what they're talking about with like how Japanese women are more feminine and more appreciated versus like American women, is like that there's more of a submissiveness and respect that goes on over there, and less of that toxicity.
Do you actually know Japanese people in relationships?
I mean, the ones that I was in, they were pretty respectful.
But like like these Japanese Americans, or like Japanese?
True, Japanese Americans.
Yeah. So that's very different. I'd say like Japanese, like I can't speak on that, and I don't think you can really speak on that either. So like this.
But anyone can like in the comments.
I mean, you guys can if you know Japanese, you could tell us like what they're really like, and like maybe. But the thing is like the whole Japanese culture. There's like the honmae and the tatemae, which is like your front face.
Whoa, what's going on? You bring up like Japanese and stuff?
I know some Japanese.
Hongdae guy?
Huh?
I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Huh?
You know Hongdae guy?
I don't.
The guy that's like, oh, you open-minded.
Huh?
All right, never mind. You probably
No,
don't know. All right,
I
never
don't
mind.
know what that is.
Yeah.
But anyways, there's the front face and then like the internal voice.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like Japanese, like their front face, they have a lot of very polite, and it's about harmony, and it's about peace. And so like
But behind
behind the scenes, they have a lot of pent up feelings.
Yeah.
A lot of pent up feelings.
I see what you mean.
So it's like
that shit happens in Taiwan too.
yeah. So it's like you don't really know what's happening actually in there. Like you might think like that's what's going on, but like unless if you are a white guy and you go to Japan, you date and marry a Japanese girl, and like she doesn't like speak English, like that's really just a guy wanting a girl that he can control. Like that's
true.
That's why white men go to other poor countries so that they can have a wife.
I found it really peculiar because this guy didn't marry that Japanese girl.
Okay.
Like this guy's still out and about, like kind of doing his crusade of like just going on podcasts and just, I don't know, maybe he does have a girl, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's public or anything. But like you pointed out something like pretty important. Like you kind of said that like you kind of need to understand yourself. And so I bring up this general rule of thumb, like there's a set criteria that like men really like. It's like the overarching factor that like men would go for like feminine women, right?
Okay.
But when you say like these guys should know themselves, or girls, right? If they need to know themselves, but they think that what's best for them is like a specific type of person, but that person's toxic and it screws them up. So like what I'm saying is that there's a lot of people out there, they're super oblivious to like what is actually tried and true, successful. Like they think, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go for a person who like makes things fun, but that fun, that emotional roller coaster is not sustainable, and they think, fuck, I'm gonna go for that. You know what I mean? So like maybe like a guy, he's like, I want a girl who's like a boss babe, but that really doesn't work out in my opinion, because like boss babes, like they could be confrontational and just like very toxic. Like that's I know you're gonna say it's nuanced, but at the same time,
okay,
I mean there's a correlation with that, right?
Maybe in your experience, you know, maybe
okay.
maybe in your
Let's flip it around.
For sure.
A toxic guy, okay, a toxic guy. So he's like a fuckboy. He's a fuckboy, and then he has cheated on girls. Okay. So that's like a red flag that would be like, okay, we can all agree it's not like a nuanced thing, it's a very generalized thing.
Sure.
That okay, like women see this type of guy and she's like, nah, no way. Yeah, maybe that's why I'm a red flag to like a lot of girls out there.
Well, probably. I mean, like that's you said it, I didn't say it. But that's the thing though, is that like some people are just very much simply incompatible, and like the things that some people are looking for in a relationship are the things that they're looking for because that's what they know. And like you and I had this conversation before where we were on the phone and we talked about how like I've also had my fair share of dating a lot of people, of spending time with a lot of people, and like it took me a lot of time to figure out the reasons why, but once I got to like the root core like of why and healed that, I no longer want any of that. Because here's the thing, is that most people, they could know that they're in a not so great relationship, but they make excuses for it. They say like, oh, you know, this is good, that's good. And like about 50% of relationships are in an unhealthy attachment style. Like 50%.
Okay, so I understand what you said, but like going back to like just like the general rule of thumb, or that person's not good for you, right? So like these guys, like if they do something bad, are you saying they're not a bad person and you guys are just not compatible? Like for example, he cheats on you, would you say this guy's a fucking piece of shit?
I mean, if I was on the receiving end of it, yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
If I was on the receiving end of it, but if I'm not on the receiving end of it, there's more nuanced ways to look at it. You know, I'm not excusing cheating, by the way. Let me just like put this disclaimer out there. If you cut this, I'm gonna fight you. But the thing is that like people cheat like when they don't actually know what they want, and they think what they want is somewhere else.
I don't think that's an excuse though.
It's not an excuse, but that is the reason. That doesn't mean it's okay to do it, but there is a reason why you do it, and the reason might be because like this happens to a lot of men, and I'm not saying all men. A lot of men have been in relationships with their parents where their mom is very overbearing, and their mom is like always wanting them to do things her way. They need to do it this way, and like you need to take care of this, blah blah blah, whatever. And for men, that ends up creating like a lot of guilt, and you don't have very good boundaries, and like that ends up in like your relationships with women, because like now you're like avoiding things, you're like saying like she's acting crazy, or like this is not true, but the thing is that like that's like
childhood trauma kind of thing.
It's I guess if you wanted to call it trauma, you could. Programming, sure. I mean, like that's just the way that you grew up, and so like that's not emotionally healthy or safe.
Yeah.
But a lot of people grew up in those kinds of environments where typically like women are the ones wanting connection, wanting like closeness, and like men don't know how to give it, or they avoid. And like without learning that from your parents, like it's not something that you know. And also like if you have no examples of that, you're not going to have any idea of what that even looks like. Like if you all you saw were your parents just like constantly fighting each other and like saying, acting like kind of like how people are in this podcast, they're just like arguing and confronting all the time, you have zero examples of what it's like for people to actually listen to each other. And so you pick people that are very similar to that, and the cycle just kind of repeats itself.
Yeah.
And it continues until either you meet someone that doesn't act that way, and then like your whole kind of world flips upside down, or you're in such a painful relationship that it is like the worst fucking thing that you've ever been in.
Yeah.
Not true story, by the way, at
like,
all.
180 degrees the opposite.
It's so painful that you're like, I need to get out of this, and I don't know how. And that's when things really shift.
Yeah.
Because there's multiple different triggers, or you know, there's a lot of things in between also.
So yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of people out there, just like guys or girls, like they just don't understand like what is actually good for them. Like they probably like see something where it's like, this is what I want, but then when it comes down to it, it's like not really like helpful to them, and it's not productive. It's not making them happy. It's making them like really filled with a lot of despair. But it's
better than being alone.
Wait, is that satire, or like you actually?
It's not satire. That's what happens for a lot of people. It's better than being alone.
Oh, you're saying that's what goes on in their head.
That's what goes on in people's heads.
Yeah.
They would rather cope.
It's like the cognitive dissonance.
Mm-hmm. They would rather cope and be not alone than to actually be alone. Because when you are actually alone, obviously it fucking sucks. Humans are not meant to be like alone. You know, we're very much social creatures. We want to connect. And so like a lot of people will excuse those things just so they can not be alone.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like there's a lot of these like cases where these people, they don't understand, and then like what's actually good for them, and then like when they keep dating these people and they don't like go out to the country today, when they see like maybe like a Japanese person, they're like, oh, okay, this person is like much better than like what I've dated. You know what I mean? So that's what I think, like what these guys are saying. They're probably like, this is much better than like what we're used to and what we were told was good. And I think they're trying to just like spread information to like the people out there, those simps that go after like these boss babes and girls that like manipulate them. And so I think it's just like, to me, it's just more like they're trying to spread awareness on this. But
I mean, I have a very different opinion about that. Like the men that go across the country to like places where like the other person may not even speak their language, it's really, you guys are not going to like me saying this, but it's not really a relationship, because these women ask nothing of you. They don't ask you to grow. They don't challenge you. They don't ask you to step up. Yeah. And that if that's what you want, and you want to be comfortable, and like that's the relationship you want, you know, more power to you. But like it is kind of empty.
Yeah, you know what passport bros are, right?
I've maybe heard of them.
Like the guys that like they take their passports and then they go out of the country to like find a girl. Yeah, the conquesting in different countries, sure, yeah. Yeah, so I spoke about like passport bros, and I was like, there's nothing wrong with being a passport bro, but there's big things wrong if you're a passport bro and you're like a big loser. Like if, for example, you're like successful and you're established like this guy, and you go out to like Japan, like I think that's fine. But if you're a guy who's just like a loser who hasn't really attained anything, doesn't even know how to talk to girls, and that's your kind of coping mechanism to achieve success and like want to power up by that, that's a big problem.
Power up.
Yeah, it's like a cheat code, like in StarCraft. You put like read me not, and you get like hella gold. Yeah.
That's an interesting take.
Anyways, final thoughts on this? I'm gonna just wrap it up here.
Yeah, I mean, I just stand by what I said. Like, if you want a relationship where you're challenged to grow and actually become a better version of yourself, you won't go across the country and try to find a girl that can't even speak your language.
Masculine women and feminine guys. Do you see that as a problem?
Masculine women and feminine guys?
Yes.
I don't really know what that means.
Like a girl who like acts like a guy, and then a guy that acts like a girl. Like he's like very submissive and he doesn't really have a spine. He doesn't really have a backbone.
It's up to them.
It's up to them?
Yeah, it's up to them.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say like
it's up to them. I don't know. It's their relationship.
I'm trying to say like these guys are going for masculine women, or like a girl goes for like a really docile and submissive dude.
Okay.
Feminine women.
Okay.
And it just doesn't work out. You know what I mean?
Well, it's up to them. Like if it doesn't work out for them, then it doesn't work out. I don't know.
That's why dating's failing. You know, they're going for these things, but they're not like understanding this. You know, that's the message I'm trying to give.
I don't know. There's maybe you are speaking to your audience. Maybe that's what you're doing. That you're speaking to your audience, and like they know and need something from you. That I'm like I don't know what you're asking me for.
Whatever.
This is your boy. You listen to him. You know, whatever you want to listen to him for. But like, I don't have much to say about that. Like, if you want a big tall lady to cuddle you and hold you at night, and that's what you need. That's what you need, man. Okay,
It's not big tall lady. It's more like the personality is.
They might want the big tall lady. Okay, I'm sure they're out there. I know you. I've met you.
I mean, they think they want it, but it's not good for them. A lot of this like leads to like a lot of divorce or just like heartbreak and stuff, I feel like. But if they're naturally like a really beta dude and just wants to listen to everything, yes, for
really
sure. I think I think opposites attract, right?
Wow, that's a loaded statement.
All right, well, we'll just end it here.
Bye.
Yeah, we'll leave the rest of the viewers to like decide. Comment below. But we'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys.
Bye.